Hi, everybody. I am going live. It's Dr. Wendy Walsh. This is my live stream. Waiting for Instagram to come on board. Let's see what's happening there with Instagram. Not sure why it didn't go live. Reels. Sorry, guys. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn or whatever, I'm sorry. It's a lovely picture of my neck, but I can't find the thing on Instagram to go live. Hang on. Okay, Instagram, why are you being finicky? And for whatever reason, StreamYard, where you're watching me on, does not allow Instagram. There we go, live. Now let me get it set up. There I am. Okay, all good now? There we go. Instagram's coming now. Hi, everybody. It's Dr. Wendy Walsh. This is my Wednesday night live stream. I've come on a few minutes early so that you guys can say hello. As usual, let me open up the comments over here. Let me see where you're watching from. Linda, I love you. You are my first Tier 3 early adopter, and I want you to know, Linda, I am so grateful. That is really sweet of you and kind of you to support me and my new kind of thing. For those on Instagram just joining me, if you're watching everywhere else, I have launched a Patreon. There is an early bird special. You can log onto my Patreon and sign up. It's super, super, super affordable. And come on over. If you are new to finding me, then you can check out all my other social media and you can listen to me on KFI AM 640 Los Angeles. But okay, so I see the questions already coming in. Hi, Sydney, I know you're planning yours. And so always tell me where you're watching from. That's always the first part that's fun. I see a New Yorker there. Who else we got up there? A what you said? A Patreon. So on Instagram, you can't see the graphic that everybody on my other social media can see. So if you go to Patreon, patreon.com/Dr. Wendy Walsh. I have a little bit of an announcement that I'm going to get. Robert in Seattle wants to know what's for dinner. Okay, so here's a funny thing about dinner tonight. So, I subscribe to this organic farmer's box that comes with all kinds of vegetables every week. And I looked at it and there's broccoli today left over. There's carrots, there's corn, there's onions. I don't know, maybe I'll grill some onions, steam all those other vegetables, but I had no protein in the fridge except 2 hot dogs. So that's going to be the plate. It's going to be a hot dog for Jones and I with corn, broccoli, and carrots. Not very gourmet or exciting, but it's going to be a nice dinner. It'll take me 5 minutes to make. Well, maybe a little bit more. Wrightwood, California. Hi, Jill. Hi, Michael from Orlando. Charms from Ottawa. Charms, I'm coming to Ottawa in a few weeks. They've opened the border for me. Finally, I can go home to Canada. Although apparently I could have gone as a Canadian citizen, but now I really can. Okay, so the big announcement is this. Oh, I forgot my prop. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I got to get my prop. It's very important, you guys, before I get into your questions. I want to get to the announcement. You guys are looking like, what is your prop? So, there, I'm back. I have my prop. Okay, so if you join my Patreon, you go to patreon.com/Dr. Wendy Walsh. Have you guys seen my love bomb video? It's a video on TikTok and it's called, I think it's called What is Love Bomb, or It's a Love Bomb, or it's just called Love Bomb, whatever. And in it, this video, I tell the story about a Playboy who gave me this beautiful Cartier Pasha watch on the 3rd date. Yeah, that's called a love bomb. So they're either bombing you with love because they have an anxious attachment style and they're not loving you genuinely. They're loving you out of fear. Like, I better give her tons of stuff so then she won't leave me. Or, which was the case here, he's a Playboy and he's seeing many people. I don't mean to put gender on it. I guess girls can love bomb. Girls love bomb with all those cute little notes, and then they come over and cook for you and clean your place, and it's just too much too soon, right? Little monogrammed everything, way too early. So Anyway, in this case, the story is that after seeing him, soon after giving me this watch, we were out to dinner one night, and on the way back from dinner, he called his friend, who happened to be a famous actor, and he said, I'm passing your house. I've got my girl with me. We want to come over and say hi. So I'm all flattered. Of course, I take this as, oh, absolutely, I must be the one. He must be so into me. And we go over, and when this actor opens the door, you see, the cool thing about actors is if you've seen them in any movies, you know all their emotions. You can read them because they sell their emotions by the hour. And so he literally does a little startle that I dismissed and I ignored. Well, a few weeks later, I was out with a bunch of women friends, and we meet someone brings along this beautiful young woman, and somehow in the conversation, she tells me who her boyfriend is. Who do you think her boyfriend is? Mr. Cartier watch, Love Bomb. Then we start exchanging stories, come to find out just the night before, he had taken her to the same actor's house. So that's why he was startled, because he expected her to be at the door, not me. And this was an apology in ahead. So anyway, my big announcement is this. I am opening up a Patreon. As of next week, my live stream will not be here free on all my social media. It will be a private link for only people signed up to Patreon. Come on, it's cheap. You guys, it's $4 a month. You can do this. So join. It's an early bird special for my early adopters. Fabulous people like Linda Crawford signed up for tier 3, and I've got to get some more content up for her so that she can become extra smart. She already is smart. So here's the announcement. You see this beautiful Cartier Pasha watch? Back in the day, it was probably worth about $5,000. I don't know how much it's worth right now. As soon as I have 1,000 people on Patreon, I am going to do a drawing for it. I will have nothing to do with picking who the person is. I have a social media woman named December who will be totally in charge of pulling that name, closing her eyes and pulling that name. So there's nothing you can say or do to me to try to persuade me to give you the watch. But this watch is going to go to one of my lucky Patreon subscribers as soon as I have 1,000 followers on Patreon. So why Patreon? Why doing this? I'll tell you why. Book publishers don't give you book deals anymore unless you have 14 million followers. And it doesn't even matter if you have good content or knowledge or you can write a good book. You need to be celebrity. Podcasts don't make any money because other companies sell them and make the ad money. So I've decided to take all my content, everything that I will continue to produce, Mating Matters podcast, my book chapters are all going to be up there, daily blogs, daily videos, and give them back. Anything to bring back your podcast. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Jessica. So the reason why I'm creating Patreon is so that I have a budget to hire an editor, right? I like to do all the creative part, write the script, record it, do the interviews, but all that tech part of putting it together, hitting buttons, I got to hire somebody for. So that's why I need a Patreon, so I can hire somebody. iHeartMedia has graciously given me all the episodes of Mating Matters, so they will be up there as well. Yes, the podcast is coming, more Mating Matters. It's all going to be on Patreon beginning September 1st. So we're almost there, okay? And the first 1,000 subscribers go into a drawing for this beautiful Cartier Pasha watch. I can't wait to wrap it up, put insurance on it, to mail it to you. Hello, Buzzy. How are you? Thanks, Linda, about the Love Bomb video. Okay. So why don't we start your questions? Here we are. I got my latte. I'm on caffeine, if you can't tell. Haven't done tequila yet today. That'll come after. Okay. Where are the questions? Thank you, Linda. I really appreciate that. I'm always like nervous about it because I'm a charitable person. I want to give away for free, but I've been doing it for so many years and I'm making it really affordable to everybody. Oh, thank you, Jessica, for saying such nice things about Mating Matters. Here's a secret. It's not being taken down on iTunes until August 31st, which is a few more days. So you could technically download every episode for free right now and not have to sign up for my Patreon. But don't sign up anyway. If you want new episodes, you're going to have to come behind the paywall. Okay. Sydney always has some good questions. Let's go there. If a borderline personality disorder person started dating someone who has a narcissistic personality disorder, will it work out? Maybe in murder. I don't know. I'm sorry, but those are two really volatile painful, dangerous personality disorders. And sadly, they often do find each other. I was actually in a cafe one night with my kids, and I was listening to the couple in the booth behind me arguing vehemently. And it was so disturbing to me because, I hate to be an armchair psychologist. I shouldn't diagnose. But one clearly had major self-esteem, sensitivity issues, which indicates borderline personality disorder. And the other one was a raging narcissist, know-it-all, like you're all wrong and I'm all right. And rather than separating, they just argued and argued and argued. Someone says, how long should you wait to take an ex back? What are you trying to do? Punish them? Are they going to learn something by being in single person jail? It's really not about time. It's about going to therapy together and changing. And if you think you're going to wait till they change, my answer to you is, have you changed? Are you going to react to them in the same way? Will you have better boundaries? You have better ways of communicating your needs, right? So it's about the best work on relationships should be our work, what we do to ourselves. Okay. Oh, thank you, Kareem. Kareem just signed up. I'm his very first Patreon. I'm your first, Kareem. It's very exciting. Okay, Sharm says, how can a very anxious attachment man deal with his partner responds to him with, that sucks, I'm sorry, when he tells her about his bad days? Ask for more support, but she didn't improve. Sharms, it's not her job to heal you. It's not her job to give you support. She actually gave you some empathy by saying, that sucks, I'm sorry. That's a little bit of empathy. It's your job to contain yourself. It's your job to go to a therapist who can help you learn coping strategies to contain your anxiety. The fact you were able to share your feelings with her is a big step, yahoo! But don't expect her to heal you and don't expect her to make you feel better, because guess what? It will never be enough, Sharms. You will unconsciously up the ante. Okay. Any more questions up there? Looking for my questions over here. I know I got to put on my glasses should help me see, except that they're dirty. Dirty glasses don't help you see so well. If you have relationship questions, please post them. Oh, Elizabeth, thank you. Thank you for joining on mid-tier. So you're going to get Mating Matters. I think I put up 1 or 2 episodes for free for everybody, and then that will get them over. Sydney says, how do we identify somebody with a narcissistic personality disorder? So I'm doing my live stream and there are 3 teenage girls about to walk in the door. They're going to take a different route. You can come in and say, hi, ladies. You guys come in. Why don't you poke your heads in and say hi on my live stream? No, because they think I'm all alone here. Come on, come put your face in here. Just right here. This is my sweetie Jones, my 18-year-old. No friends coming? Who do we have there? Who is that? Oh, hi, come on in. Hi. Come right in. Hi. Hi. And then we have Gratita as well. Hi. It's Lisa and Gratita. You have very dark hair, both of you. What happened?
We both dyed our hair.
You both dyed it dark. Is this like an emo thing?
I mean, I like my look of dark hair. It matches with my eyes.
Okay, these girls were blondes before. Yeah. Okay, just saying. Guess they're trying to look different than me. Okay. What was I saying? Narcissists. Okay, so narcissists are really damaged babies. They were usually raised by narcissistic parents, and their own feelings were not mirrored for them, and they didn't learn to express their feelings. So as a result, they grow this kind of external fake personality that they think everybody will love. And indeed, at the beginning, everybody does love it. Narcissists are great performers. They're Academy Award-winning performers. But after a while, it's this deep sense of self-loathing underneath. So they can't have real intimacy, and they're more likely to reach out and attack you. Now, there are 2 kinds of narcissistic personality disorders. There's a compensatory narcissist, and this is the person who's compensating for a low sense of self-esteem. And then there's the malignant narcissist. We will not say the names of any politician who has a malignant narcissist personality. There might be more than one. Oh, yeah. Your ex is a narcissist. He won't leave me alone. Listen, if it's stalking and you feel unsafe, you need to get a restraining order. Oh, you're actually vomiting because of your anxiety because your partner doesn't give you enough. Well, let me say this. It's not about your partner changing. It's about you changing. I'm so sorry you're going through this, but it's about you learning to cope with anxiety And for some people, the anxiety is so extreme, they might even need some medication. I just want to say that. Any more questions over here? Any more questions? Thank you for the compliments. I appreciate that. Waiting for more questions. How do you get over the what if fantasy when someone is, it disappeared so fast. I think physically or not emotionally available or something. Again, that's attachment anxiety, right? You're like in love with what could have been. You're in love with longing. Ex-husband doesn't want to celebrate together. How to let that go? Celebrate what? Can you post it again? Exes don't have to celebrate anything. You should get rid of them. Thank you for consoling each other, by the way. Hello from California. Nice to hear you, see you. What more questions? No, Sharms, the answer is not about finding a new partner. It's about becoming a new partner. It's about finding a good therapist who can help you control yourself. Somebody asked, why are cat owners looked at unfavorably on dating profiles, even though apparently more people have cats than dogs? Well, if that is true, then cat owners will find each other, right? I think they are looked at unfavorably because there is a stereotype of older, unattractive women who collect cats instead of boyfriends. And also because more people are allergic to cats than allergic to dogs. So there's a couple negatives. But if more people own cats, then there should be lots of mates for them out there. I said I just say what I was. I forget that my words and actions have been insufficient. You know what, Derek? That's a good thing to say. You basically told somebody, I'm trying to hear you. I'm trying to respond back to you. I'm sorry that you didn't perceive empathy from me. I've reached the end of my mental and emotional resources. It's not your job to fix anybody. You know, happiness is baggage we have to bring into our relationships with us. It is not up to our partner to heal us or make us happy. So it is for you to go and get the therapy and support that you need so that you can be a happier, content person when you enter a new relationship. You're a cat owner who's allergic to cats? Oh, thank you that you like my show on KFI. I don't know how you live with cats if you're allergic. What else do we have up here? Okay, I'm reminding the people on Instagram that I've made an announcement tonight in case you're just dipping in. Where did it go, by the way? Where'd my prop go? Oh, here it is. If you saw my love bomb video on TikTok, you know that a Playboy once gave me this love bomb, a $5,000 Cartier Pasha watch. And my first 1,000 subscribers on Patreon, when I hit that number, I'm going to do a random drawing and one of my lucky followers is going to win this watch. I don't need it. It's been in a box for years. Somebody says, boyfriend of 5 years broke up in a text and we were about to buy a house. Not one word in 10 weeks. Why am I so sad? Well, for obvious reasons. He obviously did not care as much as I thought. I'm having trouble moving on. First of all, it's only 10 weeks. It's going to take time to move on and grieve. And it is very normal to feel loss and feel sadness. And I'm so sorry, but you are saved. Let me tell you, you are saved. Because if this person was that close to such a big financial commitment and couldn't even discuss their feelings with you, imagine if other big bumps happen in life. This person saved you from a lifetime of pain. Really. Trust me, that was a good thing. Thank you so much for subscribing. That's so sweet of you. I feel so good. Sydney, such a good question. Can someone have more than one attachment style? Yes, so here's the thing. So we have sort of a primary constellation of attachment style that feels most familiar and most normal to us. And we will go out and we will find romantic partners who behave in a certain way. However, having said that, remember, we had a certain kind of attachment with our mother. We had a certain model of attachment with our father, and maybe even older siblings. And so certain people can inspire, I like to say, or trigger us in different ways. So yeah, you can. Your attachment style can be a little bit different depending on who you're with. Any tips before a partner meeting my parents? Well, it depends. Are your parents judgmental? I would just say be yourself. Be as natural as possible. How do I work with anxious attachment style? I teach people coping strategies. I teach people to recognize that the other person's not the problem. It's somebody early in their life that was the problem. And so they've got to really believe that they are lovable and learn that they are lovable. And the coping strategies might include mindful meditation. It might include thought stopping techniques where every time you think, oh, they don't like me, they haven't called me back, you can just replace that with a thought like I am lovable, etc. But anyway, when you come over to my Patreon, I'm going to be lots and lots of constant lessons so that we can get together. Oh, son's 5th birthday. You know what? You don't have to pretend to be a family, and your son will understand that you don't have to do a fake family when you're broken up. If it is an ex, it's an ex. Let him celebrate your son in his own way or not. As I say, give them enough rope, they'll hang themselves. The kid will know who's there for them and who loves them. You don't have to create a fake family. Thank you for printing that again. I tried to do that in the early years, like, oh, come over for Christmas, come over for birthdays or whatever. And he would always fail me in some way. And then I realized, you know what, my kids are just going to know who loves them. Sydney asks, how important is self-love? It is everything. The most important relationship we will ever have in our lives is the relationship with ourselves, right? So self-love is super, super important. Tommy, thank you. Very nice. My partner doesn't want me to meet her family yet. It's been 5 months. Is this a red flag? Yeah, it means she feels insecure about this relationship for some reason. So you want to talk about it, right? Why this is. Michael, thank you so much for signing up. I really appreciate it. For people on Instagram, I'm talking about my Patreon that I just launched, patreon.com/Dr. Wendy Walsh. Next week, my live stream will be there, not here. I continue to meet the same non-committal, unavailable men, says this follower. I meet them everywhere, apps, walking the dog, hotels, everywhere, but they're all the same. I continue to hear monogamy is dead. Of course, the men you're picking believe monogamy is dead. You know, I want to say something. Okay, so I put a TikTok video today that was like the 4 stages of change. Stage number 1, you're walking down the street, you don't see a hole, you fall in it. Stage number 2, that hole, by the way, is that same non-commitment guy who doesn't believe in monogamy. Stage 2, you're walking down the street. This time, aha, you see the hole, all the red flags, the warning signs, and you still fall in. But you're different now because you're watching yourself every step away in the process. Stage 3, you're walking down the street. You see the hole, you recognize it, but this time you walk very carefully around the hole. And stage 4, you take a different street. So if all the men you're meeting tend to be non-committal, non-monogamous men, you're still in stage 1. When you're in stage 2, or you're beginning to stage 2, right, you're starting to recognize, oh, this is a trend. I'm unconsciously picking the same person, whether they're at the hotel or the dog park or on the app. It's tweaking something in me. And by the way, I have to share this. The anxious attaching person and the avoidant person tend to have the hottest sex. And their relationships last a long time, but they're the most painful relationships. So I saw this great TikTok video today. I'm going to duet it of a woman, and you think it's going to be bad news because she goes, listen, if your name is whatever the girl's name is, and you live in like Culver City and you're engaged to this guy named first name, I want you to know that I met your fiance in Vegas this weekend and we were talking in the pool. And I want you to know that he told me how much he loved you. And he even cried telling me. So I want you to know you're a really lucky woman. The point of that video is I want to post it and say, this is the guy that you're waiting for and looking for. The one who gets so energized by you, the one who doesn't play games, the one who literally, look, when my boyfriend responded to me, so we met on Bumble, and I don't go on very often looking. I'm just, every few months, and I would get notifications. So apparently he had rematched with me a number of times and I didn't know. So finally one night I went on Bumble and I went, why look at new ones? Let me look at some of these grayed out ones to see if I like them once, maybe I'll like them again. And I see his picture and I click on it and I just write the word hi. That's all I write. That's all girls need to write. We have eggs. They're chasing eggs. Stop it. Just say hi. Anyway, he writes back, Wendy, with 5 exclamation marks, and then sends it. And then the next text, where have you been? You disappeared from the app and then you came back. What happened? And the energy in those early texts let me know this guy was excited for me. Now, the only thing I had to figure out is, did he have a secure attachment style? And he was just showing enthusiasm. Or was this an anxious attachment style where he couldn't contain himself and it was over the top? And that's what the dating period is for, to assess that. I know, Natalie, is that crazy? That Cartier watch, third date. He's a producer in the music industry. You know, they have stupid money for no reason. For referring new people to you, will you still be free content on YouTube and TikTok? Yes, Kareem, I'm going to put content on YouTube and TikTok. However, I'm going to start to post a little less often on social media and a little less meaty. I want to give the real educational information, the self-help information where people can heal themselves on my Patreon. So if you're really looking to change, if you want to get into, I'm going to set up some Zoom groups where people can come in. You don't have your camera on, you don't have your mic on, but if you want to share, it can be like a book group for talking about relationships, kind of like group therapy, but it's not therapy. Okay, everybody, I'm not a licensed therapist. I think I'm a professor of psychology. Think of what you get from me is advice giving from an educated friend. And you get bored of those chasing you. So here's the other piece to the anxious attachment is that when some guy is too nice and too available, you actually move away, because the anxious attachment style actually is kind of afraid of intimacy. They use their anxiety to long for intimacy. But when they turn around and give you the intimacy that you crave, you often go, he's too nice, right? And so it's about learning to tolerate love and care and closeness. Michael, you're so funny. Don't turn into a stalker, please, Michael. I know you're just joking and keeping it lightweight, but I have had stalkers over the years and they're not fun. Should men stop texting back so fast so the girl will run for them? All genders should chill a little bit, right? You do want to show someone that you care, but you always have to be looking for reciprocity. So if you are texting them and you're doing long bodies of text and you're responding really, really quick, that's anxiety, right? If they write 2 sentences, wait a little bit, maybe an hour. You write a couple sentences back and they go, maybe that person has a busy life. They didn't have time to text me back quickly, right? So all genders will do that. How do I stop that? I don't know what you need, because they go by so fast. Zenefwa, can you please tell me stop what so I can answer it? Thank you, Natalie. Hi, Shannon. How are you? She's sending me a kiss. Start small to recognize what it is. Yes, you have to take small, safe risks when it comes to intimacy. So here's the other mistake that people with an anxious I'm sweating. I don't know. It's menopause or whatever. People with an anxious attachment style do is so they go, okay, I'm going to be intimate. I'm going to like bleed on the paper in front of them. I'm going to tell them all my feelings about my anxiety. I'm going to tell them about my early childhood trauma. And that makes them run away. And then the person with the anxious attachment style gets confirmation that they're not lovable and that people will leave them. And there the cycle begins again. So it has to be just, small things and watch for reciprocation. You open up about something, some story that's not too vulnerable, and see if they share as well something about them. How to stop fearing available men and mistaking it for them being needy. Yeah, because some of them are needy. When you use the word needy, I say have their own anxious attachment style. And some of them are that. And the answer is you using your prefrontal cortex to control the pace, which means that, so here's this nice guy that's available, that wants to see you right away. And there's a piece of you that has the running feeling in your stomach, like, he's too nice. And so you say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to just meet him for a coffee or a quick taco somewhere. And I'm going to allow myself 30 minutes, 40 minutes with this person. And then I'm going to take a few days and let it swim around my body and see what that felt like. And then I'm going to see how he reacts, right? Because if he goes crazy and starts texting you and calling you like crazy, you're like, yep, that is an anxious attachment style. You don't want him, right? But if he's like, waits a few days and then he texts and says, hey, that was great meeting you. Do you want to get together again? Then you just do tender back and forth. You control the pace. I will say this, women control the pace of the sexual relationship. And women, if you do not believe that, ask any guy, okay? Sex is a much higher risk hobby for women. We're more likely to contract an STD because of our unique biology. We're more likely to fall in love through sex because of the high amounts of oxytocin that are released in women's bodies and not blunted by testosterone. And we're more likely to catch an 18-year case of parenthood. So as a result, women traditionally, historically, have been made to go a little slower. Now, I know plenty of women are moving fast because sex is fun and pleasurable, but what you don't hear about in our highly sexualized culture, and me and my therapist friends talk about it all the time, are the crying girls from the hookup culture who sit in therapist's office, because inside they have this hope that the person will fall in love with them, that they'll somehow be special in some way. Michael, thank you for saying that. All right. My boyfriend has an anxious attachment style, but I love him. Help. Well, if you love him, don't enable him. If you love somebody, it means sometimes saying, hey, it's not for up to me to calm you down right now. If you need to call a therapist, we can do that. But it's not my job to calm you down. Because what happens plenty of times with men when they have an anxious attachment style is it comes out as anger. Where are you going? Who are you with? You don't give me enough attention. And so that's hard to live with too. Okay, so going through a divorce and try dating, but the part about seeing another woman with my 2 younger children makes me want to shut down the relationship. Look, this is really hard. And I'll be honest, I pretty much stayed off the dating marketplace, or I had secret love compartments away from my kids, because what we do know, and you are right to feel this way, is that a revolving door of parental figures is the worst thing for kids. And dragging your kids through your romantic life is not healthy, okay? So please protect your kids. You're doing the right thing, either waiting or keeping it completely private when you don't have your kids with you. All right, I got to go now because I got to start cooking dinner. I got 3 teenagers here. I only have 2 hot dogs. I have all those vegetables. What if I cut the hot dogs in half, and they each have half of a hot dog, and the broccoli and the carrots and the corn? I got to figure this out. Okay, everybody, please go on to my Patreon. The price is going to go up next month. I have a very cheap early bird price, entry level of $4 a month. You just go to patreon.com/Dr. Wendy Walsh. I'm going back into production of Mating Matters once I get enough of a budget there to hire an editor. There are all kinds of tiers. I am going to have private rooms where we can all meet, group, and I will every week do a drawing of my Patreons for a private one-on-one session on the phone with me. So there's lots that you can win. Stir fry. Linda, what an excellent idea. I'm going to stir fry it all. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for coming over to my Patreon. You will see notices on my social media this week about where the next live stream will be on Patreon. Okay? Thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you. It really means a lot. Thank you. Come over to patreon.com/Dr. Wendy Walsh. Bye, everybody. Going to stir fry now.